right. All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. We are live for the lunchtime market update live stream. Let's see. Let's see. We'll head live there. All right. Cool. Let's get that tweeted here. Also live on Share Vision. Cool. There. And let's take a look here. And live stream links down here. Okay, at least that should work there. Let me double check and make sure that is accurate. Cool. Yeah, it looks good. There. Good. Awesome. All right, well, the connection is good. All right, well, I hope everybody's doing well and having a great trading day today. So happy lunchtime market update, everybody. So it's definitely been an interesting one here so far. Awesome, cool. Great stuff. Awesome, good. Yeah, so we're having some fun today, guys. So again, we're going to be going over some charts. We're going to go to the good, the bad, and the chop here today. So before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to take a look and see where we are with the market here today. And then we are going to be going through a couple of the charts here, a couple setups that have been happening here today, things that we talked about in the live stream this morning, some swings that didn't necessarily work, some swings that could be working, and some day trades that we've been looking at and may or may not be setting up. And what an interesting day today, too, guys. We had a big rip in the markets here, so let's pull up SPX, and it was rarely ever happens, but SPX actually went down when the market was bullish. So I couldn't get into options today. And again, we had a great setup here today, which we'll take a look here in a little bit. And it is what it is. You can't get upset about it. If it wasn't like a YOLO trade or something like that. Just looking to get in on the breakout on the SPX here today and a good move and trade SPX up. And they actually didn't show up. And it was pretty interesting, right? So we never seen it before, and I called Thinkorswim today, and they basically were like, no, it's working fine. I have it up here on my screen, and then the guy's like, where to go? Where's my options? He's like, I see exactly what you're talking about. And so he messaged a few people really quickly, and I don't know I'm sure people were on top of it. And he didn't know if it was on their end or it was actually on the exchange end too. So that was a possibility as well. I didn't really get into depth with them about it after that point. I was just happy that the options were up. And so we could kind of go from there. But what a day here today, guys. We're already up 24 points here on the SPX. Monthly chart is green. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. We're still contending with this double inside week here, but a breakout above last week's high would probably give this market enough momentum to get to all-time highs here today. So if we go to the daily chart, right? So pretty interesting stuff. This candle was looking like a potential reversal doji, and we had the wave count to account for it. We also had a bullish wave count on it as well that we were kind of just waiting to see what type of price action we got here today to see what would happen, right? So we ended up gapping down a little bit here today, so that was getting a little bit encouraging for the bearish wave count, and it just didn't play out. And I was trying, guys. I was trying to find the intraday today when I was on our live stream with our group this morning at the open. One of the things that I was looking for sure was the possibility of that wave down. So let's take a look at that and see how it's looking here. And then we'll take a look at some other names that might be setting up, right? So so let's give us an opportunity here to look. So let's go. Let's take a look at the the Elliott wave count here on the hourly chart. So what did we have earlier? So we were thinking that wave C was not done yet. And why were we thinking that, right? So the big reason is if we look at our wave count right here, we started this whole impulsive wave up with this this 1-2-1-2 potential, this 1-2-1-2 move, right? Now the initial pullback, right, from the wave 2 off of the first move, if we kind of zoom in here, the initial wave count off of this one was about a 618-886 retrace. This is a pretty deep retrace on this one, right? So that's a deep retrace, and right by the guideline, it's not the rule of Elliott wave, but the guideline of alternation says that if you deep retrace on wave 2, you have a more shallow retrace on wave 4, right? In terms of, well, perhaps in terms of size, but maybe you can use it in terms of percentage too, right? And so we had this kind of 1-2-1-2 type move, and here we had this infinite wave 3 up, which we counted forever, right? And so once we got to this point, things got really interesting, right? So we got this wave B triangle breakdown, right? Wave A, right? So ABC wave A, and then we had the wave B triangle, and then this move down here was looking like it was just wave C, and this was wave B, and then we were looking at a larger wave C potential impulsive wave down, and we just did not get that. And today's breakout over this level right here pretty much confirmed that that this was not unless this is turning into some sort of 886 retrace here of this initial move down, and this is like some super bearish setup, right? We're basically leaning here on the bullish side of things, right? So basically what we're seeing here now is that this was actually the wave A, this was the wave B, and this was the wave C down. It just looked like wave C had another wave in it, right? It had this next move down. And so today, what we're doing is we're like, okay, well there is the potential for an alternate wave count on this one, a bullish wave count. We had this 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, if we break out above this level right here, if we stayed below it, and there was this first this candle here at the beginning candle of the hour. So if we stay below this wave 3, this potential level right here, we still could see a major bearish move down, right? Because that could just be a deep retrace sub wave 2, and then boom, wave 3 down, and then wave C, wave 4 would just be epic, right? And we just didn't get that, right? We ended up tagging above it right there, completely invalidating that wave. And so what it looks like here is that we just had a wave 4 triangle, right? And then now we're working on wave 5, sub wave 5, right? So to me, this looks like this is probably at this point now working on a wave 1 move. And a couple things that we can do here, guys, is we can read. Hello, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. So we got the extension right here. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to take a look at this, right? This pullback right here, and we want to estimate where wave 5 might be going, right? And so in order to do that, I just need to add the 618 extension. So let me just put that on here. Oops. Put that on there real quick. Okay, so here's the 618. So you can see that this is the estimate area for the wave 5 move, right? So just basically, we're basically saying that, hey, wave 5 could be in, and it certainly could go higher if it wants to, because wave 3 is not the shortest wave, right? So it satisfies all the rules of Elliott wave, okay? So what does that mean? All right. So what it means is that we're looking at the potential for this wave 5 push, basically probably to take us to 5,000, right, at some point here, right? So because what's the next move, right? So you've got this 1, 2, right? You've got this 2 to 4 here, right? If we do an extension down here, 2 to 3 to 4 here. So where does that put wave 5, right? Well, it puts the 1.618 extension way up here. Right, so if wave 5 is usually a 618 extension from the 2 to the 4, so let's just go ahead and tag that and put that in here too, like we just did on the last one. That takes wave 5 potentially up to 4,900. If we get to 4,900, we may as well just go to 5,000, right? So that's basically what we're looking at here. So anyway, so here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So deep retrace right here, shallow retrace right here for wave 4, and then this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm thinking here wave 5 to the 618 extension, right? And this move right here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is just a sub wave 1, right? And so then what we would expect here at this point, let me kind of see if I can get a little more space on this. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'll try to estimate where we're trying to get here. So activate. So this is basically what we're seeing now. And it was too bad. That bearish wave count was so sweet. It was such a nice symmetrical move up right here. And just once this candle took it out today, it was good. I was really hoping for some more bearish price action. And then the wave up, but it just kind of is what it is at this point. So here we go. Subwave 1 right here. So we may actually still see a pullback. Of course, it's a wave 2 pullback, so we'll see how far it goes. I'm, possibly a 618 retrace right here, and then we'd look for a wave 3 up. Okay, and then a wave 4 pullback. Right, and then we'd look for wave 5 of 5 up here. And so, just kind of just estimating this going forward here. So again, it could be faster than this. Again, Thinkorswim's a little bit got a little bit of issues with its time and scaling. So, but let's just go ahead and activate this, push this over here, and see this up to the 1.618. Right. So I do think we've been talking about in our newsletter that we put out every weekend. We've been talking about going to 5,000 on this one. One of the big reasons that we've been looking at this is the macro pitchfork. Right, and so we've been seeing a pitchfork extension here all the way up to over 5,000 in the short term. So this wave count really is looking like it wants to do that, right? So or at least get to 4,900 here. So we're tracking it here going into today. So like I said, we're basically at the wave 5 move right here. So we still may see a larger kind of wave 2 pullback right here, but right now the market is just kind of chopping here going into today. So today is a Tuesday, so we're just kind of triangulating right here. Again, this is a huge push here today, guys, and we wanted to get involved. Definitely once we broke the high of the day, but I think this was a strong enough candle here to look to get involved, and that's where I pulled up my SPX options and was unable to trade them today. However, I will say that the Thinkorswim customer service is good. The guys are, the folks there are always really helpful. And that was great. And I did ask for if they can give me a check to make up for the opportunity loss on that one, and they kind of chuckled at it. And I guess no on that one. So, but we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, so cool stuff. So that's what we're looking at here on SPX going into today. Again, it's possible we get that wave 2 pullback. It's possible there's still more to wave 5. So we really just need to evaluate the price action on this going into today. If we go to SPY and kind of take a look at the volume here going into the afternoon, right? We can see that this. I mean, we're just very, very bullish here on the chart. We're over the 15 EMA. Or the 80 EMA on the 15-minute chart, right? And just kind of doing its thing. Now, the volume isn't quite there today, right? I mean, the push up there was nice intraday, but so far it's not, in terms of relative daily volume, we're not really quite there yet. So we have some work to do to see what this market wants to do today going into tomorrow. Other than that, guys, retail numbers were better than expected today. That gave the market a little bit of a boost pre-market. So we'll take a look at the S&P futures here. Again, it's funny, right? A lot of folks ask me, like, what is the difference between the SPY and the SPX and the S&P futures, and really they are all separately traded, right? The SPX represents the actual S&P 500, right? The S&P futures are futures on the SPX, right? So just like you trade coffee futures, things like that. If you get assigned coffee, you get assigned, if you're trading coffee futures, you get assigned SPX. If you're trading SPX futures, right? It's kind of the idea. And the SPY is just a derivative, right? It's just a derivative of the SPX, right? So they're three different entities, although interrelated, and we do get a lot of data from the S&P futures. We do trade S&P futures too, but we just prefer SPX options just because they're so much fun, right? So that's the idea there. But kind of going into today, right? We had this, the 9:30 candle. We had pretty decent volume kind of going into the morning right here, but we did have the usual 8:30 economic data kind of spike, and it initially liked the retail numbers that came out there, and then it flushed back to our geometric line here this morning, which held as support, and then they just started ripping it at the open, right? So at that point there, we got really concerned about whether or not our wave count was going to hold up on the bearish side, and it just didn't, right? So it's not like we're perma bears on the whole thing, that we're just waiting for it, going to hold on for that. No, we're waiting for setups, right? I mean, you got to wait for setups, right? If you assume that the wave count is going to hold up, right? Well, you better watch out, because it doesn't matter, right? Price is always going to be the one that pays, right? And so it's going to take out a lot of these levels, and could potentially take out the levels and really work out the position. It's not until we are very confident in the wave count and kind of go from there. So this completely flipped the wave count around. There was the bullish potential of it today, and we did want to go long on this one. Like I said, though, you know, we had to wait for the we had to wait for the thinkorswim options to pull up here today as well. So anyway, guys, good stuff there. So we've got that's on the ES. Oh, we got a question out there. Marcial, what's going on? Good to see you. Is Tesla ready for another drop? We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get to that here in a minute, but definitely gonna check out that question there. So good. I do appreciate you jumping in for that. So so good stuff there. Let's see what the MES just get. Really, honestly, guys, this thing looks like it's bull flagging, or even doing a bull pennant here going into the afternoon. You know, still a very, very strong chart. Right, so if you just kind of go like that here, it's already just on this little move right here, kind of breaking out of this bull pennant, and you know, and not that far from all-time highs, honestly. So it's cool stuff there. Let's take a look at a couple sectors here. Well, actually, we'll look at the XRT as well, just so we can look at retail out there. We'll look at the home builders too. There's a couple. Those are a couple names that I tweeted out today that were pretty interesting, right? So so the Q is very similar, right? They kind of broke out on the whole thing, and it was really all about Apple today, right? And Apple, and I guess it's. I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, there was like a augmented reality news that came out today. That may have given Apple the extra boost that it needed, right? So, but again, looking kind of like a bull pennant right here as well. So, again, wait for the breakout, right? I wouldn't necessarily try to get long. Oh, well, here we go. Here comes the breakout right now. So let's take a look at this and see. Maybe there's some premium that we can sell on this thing here. Or at least an opportunity to get some long if the options show up here. Yeah, look at that big spike on the SPX. Let's take a look at the S&P futures here. Again, yep, right out of the pennant range right here. Goodness gracious, this market is a monster. Let's take a look here. Let's actually pull out. Let's move back out here a little bit and see. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, we're basically in all-time high territory right now. Now, the VIX sometimes gets a little bit perky in this area, right, because of the opportunity for a blow off top, right, that type of thing. But this wave count is pretty strong. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 wave triangle. Here, just on the ES itself, I mean, it looks like there's the potential here just for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to all-time highs. So it looks like they may try to hit it here today. Nice volume spike on that last candle. I'm going to pull up the SPX here, guys. Just give me a second. Let's take a look here and see if there's any other opportunities on this. Here, give me 1 sec, guys. Again, strong candle on that one. I'm just looking here out of the money on this one to see what we're looking at. Reed, if you see how the 60s actually look pretty good going into tomorrow too. That's another one to look at. Yeah, this market's strong. Looks like it wants to get to all-time highs. The 5550s actually still have a little bit of juice in them. Am I missing something here? This is the 19th. That would explain why. I was like, oh, that looks pretty good here on the 19th. Yeah, market is really breaking out right here, guys. And then we'll take a look at the at Apple in a little bit, which is really the main catalyst for why this market is moving. And we'll take a look at it here. So there's 15 cents maybe in it. In the 10s, I'm not sure if we'll get filled on those. Let's see, we get this. There's definitely 10 cents built into those from earlier. That you could look at here too. The 47.10 strike is a really big strike. I mean, we're right next to all-time highs on these. So let's just kind of see how those hold going into tomorrow. So it looks pretty interesting there, guys. So again, to see how we hold this 47.10 area, but it's still a pretty big, some good potential on this one here today too, guys. It does look like we have the chance for a more of a wave up on this one, right? So you just kind of look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, type 5, ish type move. But here, you kind of even just today, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then more of wave 5, right? That's just from today's price action. So we'll see how that goes here today. Could be interesting. All right. So that being said, pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look and see what else we got. So give me 1 second, guys. Make sure I get this pulled up here. Yep. So let's take a look. So we've got the let's take a look at Apple. So what happened with Apple today? So Apple's pretty cool. Apple's pretty cool. Spike going for all-time highs. I know, Reed. Yeah, 55. Yeah, about 15 cents. Might be tough to get filled in there. Michael Phillips, what's going on live during the day? Good to see you. Bitcoin. Yeah, getting beat up here today too. I know, exactly. Well, we're just going through a couple things here, right? So Apple was really the kind of the big catalyst to help push the market up here today. That's kind of one of the things I put in the put on the title of this video. Is Apple ready to break out? And it's like, you look at this chart, you're like, well, I'm pretty sure it did just break out, right? So kind of one of the things that we're looking at here. But really, what's going on? We're talking about, daily. Can we swing this thing? Is it ready to go yet, right? And so this is really the big question, right? And so yesterday we rejected the geometric line up here pretty sharply, right? And now we're back to it again. So really, I still wouldn't front run this thing until we can get confirmation of this breakout, right? Because there's still the possibility that we break out right here, we retest, and then we go, right? But we do have a fairly decent wave count on this one, right, on Apple, right? We've got this 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. There's kind of a mini triangle here too, which is, A, B, C, D, E. We could actually still pull back here, a triangle within a triangle. So there's that. Right, so there's the A, B, C, D, right? I mean, there's an alt count in here, D, E, pullback, and then we break out of this thing, right? So Apple's getting very interesting, but it looks like it wants to, right? The news is definitely showing, impulsive price action, right? And if we go here and we just kind of go back to the weekly chart, let me get you a clean chart on this one. If we go back here, one of the big things that we want to look at is to see how it handled this last inside week, right? And so we thought it might break out of this way, one or the other. But what I like about this is it failed to break down, right? It tested below it, and then it worked its way up again, right? And so so what that implies to me, and we talked about that in the newsletter this weekend, that there is a chance that this thing actually wants to take this inside week up here, and then the breakout level, right, would be that prior week high, which is 152, and just say 50 cents, right? And so so we'll see if we can work our way up there. And so that's an interesting one, but definitely keep an eye. I would say at the very least keep an eye on this this sub triangle right here and this geometric line here. If we break out of here, I'd say there's a good chance that we get through that 152.50 level, which is this high right here, and then could work up for a wave 5 up, right? To continue to move, right? And so where would that wave 5 go? Let's just do what we were doing earlier, right? We go to the wave 2. Let's get our Fibonacci extension on here. We go to the wave 2. We go to the wave 3, and then we would finish wave 4 wherever that is, but let's assume it's here, right? And then we just kind of slap our 618 on here. Give me 1 second. We'll get this here, and so there's the potential for wave 5 to finish just below all-time highs for at least this wave up, and then we'll see where we go from there. So again, I've been waiting for Apple to kind of make some pretty strong moves, and it looks like it's at least given us some hints at it here going forward, right? So that's so that was Apple kind of behind the scenes, the whole move behind the S&P today. So so we'll see how that holds up here going into the afternoon. So cool stuff there. That being said, let's take a look at let's run through a couple names right here and just kind of see what's moving into the rest of the afternoon. So let's take a look. So we got let's take a look at Tesla. So for Marcial, of course, we want to look at this one here. So is Tesla still want more downside, right? Is it ready for another drop? Maybe, right? Today actually gave us a good trade today on Tesla. We did we traded the 1150. We did some debit spreads on this one today because they're still pretty jacked up in pricing, and it's still early in the week. We're still under the ADMA, right? So, one thing you can look at right here is that this could have been the start of a wave down, right? This could be wave 1, this could be A, this could be B, this could be C, type thing. And I think Tesla does want some more downside. I mean, it's, I think this open gap here is a huge target. I'm not saying, get short right now, but I'm saying it's suspect. Like it would want to fill this gap right here, and so the 50-day moving average kind of creeping up a little bit. Maybe one more like push over the ADMA on some low volume. Maybe if today's a low volume day, it could be interesting, and then another shot to the downside. It's some tricky, risky stuff to mess with this name, especially short, right? I mean, there's a lot of big money out there that's tried to short it and failed, but it is still under its ADMA on this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if it filled the gap and tested the 50-day moving average, or at least tested the gap. You got another gap down here too. You got a lot of gaps below on this one. So so we'll see how it goes. Now we got a gap up here. So we're just kind of floating around here in space here on Tesla. So that being said, we'll see. We'll see how it goes on that one. And then Reed, yeah, SPY going for all-time highs, very, very possible. Let's just check in on it right here. We got that nice little pennant break. Yeah, and we got that nice little pennant breakout right here. This thing is just a monster here today. It really is. Big triangle breakout here too today as well. This is one of the ones that we put in the bubble report this morning. By the way, guys, thanks everybody for for being a member in our group if you guys are part of it, and for all our bubble report members, we got a little free trial going on that one here. So check the Twitter stream on that. If you guys want to catch a couple reports here into the end of the week. Again, guys, we've had like winning ideas on it pretty much in every episode, every edition of it. So cool stuff there. So SPY, yep, just kind of doing its thing right here. So let's see if it continues to hold up over its ADMA here on the 15-minute chart. But yeah, Michael Felix, good to see you. So let's take a look at. So we looked at SPY, we looked at those. Let's just run through the Qs, the XLF. We'll look at the XRT, and then we'll jump over to Bitcoin and kind of see where we're going from there. So let's take a look at the let's say with the Qs. I think we already looked at the Qs. Yeah, Q's still doing the pennant right. That's where we saw the strength on the market. Let's see with the IWM. IWM doing pretty good here too, guys. Got over its gamma flip level here today, so nice move. We're clearing some pivots on this one. It was actually one of the most bearish names at the open today. And then they just bought the dip on it. Now, IWM will do some crazy dip buys on it, right? I mean, you can find sometimes you can catch some option trades on this thing. They're just ridiculous. But a big move right up here. The 239s would have been pretty epic here today from the lows. Let's just look at those real quick. So the IWM 21, 19 calls. Let's see if we can get 239s on these. Now 240s. I might have 21. Oh, 11, 19. Let's just look at these from the lows today. Yeah, so only $1.10 to $1.80 on those today, which would have been pretty epic. Out of the money, the 240s, 75 cents to $1.40 on those two, so pretty epic. IWM can move. Microsoft is moving pretty nicely here too today, by the way. So Microsoft making fresh all-time highs. It doesn't care. It's not waiting for the rest of the market. So we got that going on as well. So that's pretty strong. That could wait. That could help out the S&P a little bit. And tech. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at the XLF. So XLF is getting pretty interesting too, guys. I mean, it's just amazing how bullish this market really is, right? I mean, it's just like it's almost unbelievable, right? It's just like it's just not stopping at all. I mean, since the original Corona crash, right? So, but keep an eye on the XLF here, guys. Looks like a potential bull flag breakout in the works. I'd love to see some increased volume kind of push its way out of this flag here, but as go the banks, so go the markets, and the banks are pretty strong here today too, right? So we've got that going on as well. Let's take a look at the XRT. So retail sector has just been monstrous, right? We went over this on Saturday on our sector breakouts, right? The monthly chart was just breaking out, the weekly chart breaking out, and look at it, taking a doji sandwich up here on the weekly chart, and XRT just still going, right? And Macy's another one, right? Just a big pennant breakout right here too, right? 1 2 1 2, and then 3 4 5. I mean, does anybody even go to these stores? Does anyone even go to a retail store anymore? Anyway, so it just blows my mind sometimes. But the chart's the chart, guys. There's no other way, that you'd be able to identify this stuff without seeing, these charts the way they act. So pretty cool stuff there. So that said, let's take a look at. So that's the XRT. So looking pretty strong. Let's look at the XHB, the home builders. Again, huge breakout on this one here too, thanks to Home Depot. Home Depot just crushing it. Look at this name. Incredible. Big breakout after earnings, guys. And we talked about this weekend as well, that had a good chance of it. Right? I'm not saying trade into earnings at all, but I'm saying at least keep it on your bullish radar. And once we gapped up today, it had a really big inside 15 orb range today, and then once it broke out of that, see ya on Home Depot. Still going strong. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. So that said, it's pretty cool. Cool. You can hear Tick Strike well on this. So good stuff there. So so yeah, so that's the XRT, guys. Like I said, we reviewed that over the weekend, and then we reviewed the home builders this weekend, and Home Depot really strong. Does that mean that that Lowe's is going to be really strong after its earnings too? This really is it. Busy man, you're a busy man. But good stuff there. So oh, cool. I just got a message here in the Discord here. So Target on LCID too. Anyway, that's the home builder. So pretty epic stuff right there. But what's interesting, it's not. It's just like the. It's just like this. If you go to like Lennar, it's okay, right? You go to Toll Brothers. Today it's kind of moving along here. It was a little bit stickier earlier today, right? And then paging Dr. Horton, right? The DHI. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So they're all pretty strong today. Anyway, it is what it is. So home builder's strong. As soon as they build them, they buy them. Right, is what we've been seeing on these. So I got a I got to give priority to my Discord. So LCID, woo! Look at this thing, monster. Almost unexpected too, which is kind of interesting. Home Depot and LCID both today had earnings coming into today, and both had like the biggest 15 orb gobbledygook all day, and then it finally broke out here into the end of the day. Um, Tough to chase though. Tough to chase here though on LCID, right? So a very strong daily chart, right, on this breakout after earnings. Just kind of doing its thing. It's got, let's see, this thing was wild for a while, wasn't it? Next level up is 57 on this one. You can still kind of keep an eye on it. Strong candle on this one. But that reminds me, guys, real quick on Boeing. So Boeing had a super duper strong candle yesterday, and today is just blah, right? So it's kind of what we're seeing there, but it is what it is. It was hoping for a little more strength. If Boeing was going to do it, it was going to be yesterday, right? Because we've seen it plenty of times. It gaps up, and the next day it just keeps on gapping. But it just wasn't it for that. But you got to do it as like a lotto type move. I think so. The other day, coming through loud. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes. This is mine. This is me. This is my feed. Doing a lunch time show. This hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I had this other idea. So I am actually thinking of making why.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow futures, forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at tickstrike.com.
Okay, cool. So anyway, guys, but good stuff here. So let's take a look. So that's the sectors right here. So we looked at that. We looked at Tesla. We looked at Apple. Before we get to, I'm gonna look at Bitcoin here in a second, Michael. Yeah, but LCID is epic. LCID is epic, and Lee is still going too. Yeah. Oh yeah, the background. Yeah, exactly. See. Check out TickStrike today. We love it. TickStrike is epic. If you guys hear the beeping in the background, so I already put this one to scale out. Always not a bad idea. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, I don't know scale out. Yeah, I would say so. I'd say that's probably smart. Smart. 57 next level for runners. Okay, cool. Right, I think so. Did I look at that chart right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna have to jump off the call here soon, but that being said, let's take a look at Roblox. I want to look at Roblox to finish the topic here today, and I want to show you real quick though before I jump here off of the Apple thing. I do want to show you guys this. Anybody who's been following us for a while here and have been seeing like our partnership with our with TickStrike, I'm sorry, with ChatterQuant. I want to show you guys this here today. And maybe next time in the future, we'll actually go through, we'll use this lunchtime video and actually kind of look at some ChatterQuant stuff and just look at some charts together, right? So here's our, this is our normal feed here, our normal Twitter feed for our group. So let me just find the ChatterQuant window here. And of course we have our Discord as well. So we got this. Okay, so I just want to show you this here, guys, on ChatterQuant. So here, Apple, over an hour and 43 minutes ago, Apple hit the discussion volume. I mean, of course, everybody saw that Apple was breaking out and all that stuff, but this just shows you that it's legit, right? That there are a lot of folks talking about it. It was primarily bullish, and I really love that, right? And so even, I keep it turned on for the mega caps. I love their pro alerts on that, on the unusual discussion volume. And, you kind of go out right to that time frame. It didn't catch the initial move, like the initial candle right here, but still getting involved here still makes for a good trade, right, off of this 5-minute candle, right? So, and that came into a kind of a signal zone for us, a resistance zone right here. So I'm not surprised to see the pullback and a bounce off of the lows and then a move to the upside, right? So we've got that going on there. Anyway, so that's Apple. Let's take a look at Roblox, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at Lee's Kitchen. I gotta run. I gotta take my son to the dentist. But let's take a look here. So let's take a look at Rblx. So again, this thing has been really, really strong here today, guys. This has been on a lot of people's radar. Again, so is Boeing, right? So it's just because it's on people's radar doesn't mean it's going to be bullish. But this thing, tried to break out right here, pulled back again to the ADMA, broke up here today, and then gave you the doji sandwich up. So I don't trust this name going higher, but it could get some hype. There is some major volume that came into this thing after earnings. I'm just so like tied to this name. I mean, it's still bullish in my long run because I continue to pump money into this company on Robux, right? So that's pretty interesting there too. So I wanted to show that. I would just watch out for this upper shadow, see how it closes today. Obviously the volume is already good here so far, and then we'll see where we go from there. And then Michael Phillips, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, risky across the board, of course, right? So, and then Lee's Kitchen. Let's finish up with Lee's Kitchen here. But look at that breakout on Lee's today, and our group mentioned this morning. Damon in our group mentioned this morning, and I really love the intraday chart, and they really found a nice chart here today. And it just didn't get the option activity, which I like to see. But like I said, it didn't mean it was not a nice chart. And this is a huge breakout of this nasty pullback right here. So. Exactly, Michael Phillips. It's part of the family budget. It's part of the allowance. So. I make a special allowance for Robux, seriously. But anyway, that being said, guys, that's Lee. So keep an eye on it. See how this candle closes. A beautiful candle. If it closes, especially if it closes towards the highs, great volume here already today. So anyway, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in to all the live streams here. I always appreciate it. We'll get this posted later here today. And then we'll see where we go from there. So, and then we'll go through the market wrap and see how the market ends up finishing here if we do end up tagging all-time highs if we haven't hit it already. So, again, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you on the market wrap and on tonight's live stream. And until then, stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.